I call it Grizzle Cat. Basically, it's a lure. It's a very good lure. It's this time of year especially, in the winter months. But again, it'll fish throughout the season, but it'll give a good fry impression. Certainly worth fishing for the rainbows here in the UK. Now on the head I've got here is a painted bead. It's a fluorescent red 4mm bead on the head, and it just adds to the attraction. Just you could use chartreuse if you want, whatever. You could use dumbbells, you name it. But I'm just going to use the bead, obviously. Now, the thread I'm going to be using is a Chartreuse 60 uni thread, and I'm going to put down a layer of thread. Now, what I've done to hold the bead, I've put a touch of super glue just underneath, pulled it onto it. Now I'm going to put down a layer of thread first, to just basically in line with the barb of the hook, once you let it go. Tail is going to be a good white Marabou. Now this is what they call spring water blue. It's got just a bit more cleaner, and it's got the UV coming from it if you put a light. Just get that extra bit of colour that you need. Now I need the long stuff, so what I normally do is I tear it from the Marabou plume. You need a good tail. I mean, it's just really what you would call like a woolly bugger. It's a great pattern. Get the length you would like. Now I'm just going to line up the points or the ends here just by pinching them apart. Length, you're looking at probably twice the length of the hook anyway. Just going to line up the ends here with the scissors, tie it on. Take the thread all the way up quite quick, and then come back down nice and tight, making sure that's tied in, and on the top, which I like to get it on the top. And there you go. Now for a bit of flash, I'm going to use here, in this case it's the crinkle flash. It's a mirror flash in yellow. Just adds the body colour of this is a chartreuse, and this is really like a chartreuse. The crinkle flash is it's a mobile, it's flat, so if it's a mobile then it moves with the Marabou. But what I would recommend you do is actually put it on the side of the Marabou, not on the top. When it's wet it may hold it down, so what I do is I actually put it on the sides. So I've got three strands here, the length of the tail on my side, and then, well no, sorry, I've got 4 strands, but 3 to 4 strands will do. Catch it on the side, 2 or 3 turns, and I'm going to basically take it up a wee bit and come back down. Putting the flash on both sides, come in with the scissors and trim away the length that you need. And there you are, just adds it to the side of the fly, or the side of the tail. Now you could use a silver rib or whatever, but what I'm going to use here, this is a medium UTC wire and it's in red. Just adds a wee bit extra to the fly. Catch that on the side with a couple of turns. Now for the body I'm using a fluorescent chenille, which I've dyed this one myself. Basically it's chartreuse. It's very easy, just remove some of the fluff to reveal the core, like that. Catch it on the side, and then nice and tight, bind everything down including the wire, and work your way up. Stop round about 1.5 mm, 2 mm from the bead itself, and then bring this up. Now you need a chenille, because when you wind a hackle down it sits in and keeps the hackle up, so you need a good chenille like this. Once you get to the top, a good half a dozen turns, and then remove the excess, and any wee bits of fluff at the end of the chenille, remove that and then make sure that's tied down. For the body hackle, now I've used a couple of body hackles, but this is just the plain grizzle. These are the larger. It's a saddle hackle, cock hackle, which is, you want the length, sometimes the softness. You want some of the softer hackles, make a great body. Now take one off, check the length first, Now the length you want it, I don't like it too short, because when this forms or falls back it forms like a teardrop shape, which carries on into the tail, and to me it makes for a better fishing fly. You can tie it short, it's entirely up to you. And there's a lot of people do that and they do catch fish with it. Now I'm catching it on the side and then pulling back. Tip. Break that off. Now you want at least a turn or so at the head, and then quickly run the hackle down, winding down to this point here, to your wire. Bring your wire across and bring it up through, nice and tight, all the way up. Just draw anything that's going forward of or going towards the bead, just draw them back, the fibres. Bring the last turn or two of the wire. Now I usually put a couple of turns, basically in this area here. Make sure it's going to be nice and tight. And across your thread, and then just tie it down over the top of those turns, the last couple of turns of the wire. Bend and break off the wire, saves your scissors. Now you can get the tip of the hackle, you can break it away. Now to tidy up, I've got some Chartreuse Glister here. You could use a light bright, you could use whatever you like. It could be yellow dubbing. It just adds a wee bit to it. Just, you don't need a lot, just dab it onto your thread. Slide it up. 2 or 3 turns in, tighten up as you go. Then once you get to here, now what I like to do is to run or put some varnish onto the thread and then whip finish. This will lock in the turns much better. Plus you'll get them into the area without covering the Chartreuse Glister with varnish. And just remove. Get some Velcro and just bring out some of the glister all the way around. And there you are. That there is your Grizzle Cat. Now you could varnish a bit more if you want. What I like to do is just to protect the bead, I put another coat of varnish all the way around. Turn your vise if you can, all the way around, and let it seep just slightly onto the head area of your fly. And there you are. Fly certainly worth having in your box, especially this time of year. And as I said, you can fish it right throughout, so if you want, it's up to yourself. But once that's wet, these fibres will fall back and help to form a nice teardrop shape. And that's your Grizzle Cat.